What?
Nothing. We've lost him. Colin, we finally got rid of him.
Oh yeah, I was surprised how quiet it was.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's what happens when Colin's not here. Well, we may as well carry on then. Oliver, let's talk about, now we got rid of Colin. Sorry, Colin, we should apologise. Sorry, Colin, you are very good company, but very noisy company. Tell us, Sardinia, your first time on Rally d'Italia. How was it?
Tricky, I have to say, very tricky, but I enjoyed it a lot. Fantastic experience to be able to drive on these fantastic roads. Different time than it normally is, so it was a bit of mix of weather and the roads were quite soft, but I have to say it's a fantastic rally.
There's a couple of things I want to talk to you about, Oliver, but the first thing is that first stage. Colin and I talked at length with all of the drivers. That was the one. That Tempio stage was so difficult, so tricky. We drove it. You know, Colin is not the best driver, but he nearly had several accidents. I mean, you were 7th quickest overall. How did you do that?
I don't know. I find a good rhythm, and my pace notes were very good, and I think it's important to find a good flow and confidence very early on a stage like that, and especially if it's the first stage of the rally. It's very difficult to start with, but I found a very good rhythm, and it felt fantastic. And to beat many of the WRC guys, I was surprised when I came back, to be honest.
What does that rhythm feel like, and how do you know when you're kind of in it in the car? It just, the confidence comes, and you just know that you can push harder.
Yeah, when you find that rhythm and the flow, everything goes automatically. You just drive, and then when you finish with the stage, you forget everything, and then you're like, oh, what happened, you know? Yeah. And then the time was fantastic, but it's just when you get into that zone, you know, when you get that full focus.
There was the odd issue after that. There was a puncture, there was a half a spin, and it got kind of tricky, didn't it? But then you dropped the position with the puncture, but then you were right back into it.
It wasn't easy. I had to fight back hard, and it was, as you said, punctures and a lot of small issues. But overall, as an event, you know, it was very good, and we fought back quite well, and we were leading with 30 seconds, and we lost that with the puncture again, and I had to go maximum attack because I was 19 seconds behind, and I catched to be 5 seconds in front on 2 stages. So I went quite hard on those 2, but it's nice because, you know, you of course you can't push on every stage, but it's nice to also be in that pushing feeling that you actually are behind and you have to push on forward, and that was also a good experience to you know, to be in that tight fight, because many times it happens something for the others and then you're leading with 1 minute or stuff like this. So it's good for my experience to be able to have that fight and really have to push for it, you know. So it was good experience, but okay, then I had a small issue on one of the stages and got stuck in a ditch, which, you know, that happens, you know.
But I mean, it was genuinely, it was nothing really. You were a fraction of a second late on the brakes, and that was it. And then,
yeah, there was a bump in the road there, and I hit it. I didn't notice the bump on the recce, or not even the stage on the previous time. So I came a bit fast for that bump, and it hit the car up. And of course, then the braking point was too late, you know. So I got stuck with the front in the ditch, and then, you know, it was really nothing. It was nothing broken in the car or anything. So after the stage, you know, a couple of guys just pushed it out, and that was it, you know.
Are you surprised though? I mean, when you look at the times now, you can reflect on what you achieved. Is it a surprise that you were able to find that speed on an event that you no experience, and a kind of surface that you've got no experience of, really?
I was surprised that I managed to keep up and be so fast straight away. But of course, you know, you always put pressure. I'm a guy who always put pressure on myself to be there straight away, and I always want to be in the mix and in the fight. So for myself, I wanted to be there, but I didn't expect it to be there straight away. But you know, it was nice, I have to say.
And we shouldn't forget that there were 2 Solbergs on this event. I mean, how nice. You know, your mum Pernilla and your father Petter, they're always with you anyway. But to have your father with you, Petter kind of competing again, it must have been really quite cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I was sitting on the rear group and watching him on the power stage, and it was very special, I have to say. It was I could see he was pushing, so it was fun to be able to do, you know, something together again. You know, it's Wales was last time, and now, you know, drive again together, and I could see the joy in his eyes and the passion. You know, he really loves to drive, and straight away he called me on the phone. It's lacking traction, and we have to do something, and so on. So he was, for sure he has the passion. It was good fun.
Some things never change with Papa Solberg, do they?
Never change.
Never change.
Always passion.
And now we are in the middle of quite a busy period for you. What's next? Do you go for a test?
Yeah, we're starting to test now with Skoda for Ypres in Belgium, and it's a very demanding tarmac event, and I think you need a proper preparation, you know, because before Sardinia we only had 40 kilometers of testing, and it's the first time we drove together on gravel, and such a difficult event. So it was now we decided to do a proper test before Ypres and properly plan, and you know, we are also doing some rallies together beforehand, so we're trying to prepare properly for the next races in the championship, and I think it will be a interesting and fun championship for sure the rest of the year, but very busy.
It's easy to forget though, you know, I was about to say, have you done Ypres before? Of course you haven't.
No.
You've only done 2 tarmac rallies in your entire life before. How big a challenge will it? I mean, we've heard all of the stories, you know, Ypres in the summer is difficult, in the autumn it could be really difficult.
I think it will be full rain, of course, you know, maybe even snow, you never know in November, so it could be very difficult, I think, and but I'm looking forward to the challenge. I like challenges, and I think, you know, you have to come there with low expectations, and as I said, I've only done, as you said, I've only done one dry tarmac rally and one wet tarmac rally before, so I have to just get the experience, and such a difficult rally like that, I think it's there, especially that rally is properly about the long run, you know, and there you have to be careful the whole rally, and if you try to push a little, it could be over in a small second, so you have to I think the one who just keeps calm and drives slowly actually the whole event, I could win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that has been a reflection of Rally Italia Sardinia with Oliver Solberg. Now you might wonder, I mean, it is quite different around here. We are in October, we're not in June, hence the jacket and the hat.
It's cold.
But it's cold, it's very cold. But there is one tradition, Oliver, that always remains, and Danny Sordo lived up to it yesterday. We saw him jump in the sea. Shall we try? Shall we try? Yeah, come on.
Why not?
Why not?
Okay.
We're not going anywhere near the pool, or I'm not. Thank you very much for watching.
Why you say we're going to try?
Oh,
we have to try.
Okay. It does look cold. No, I think we'll.
Are you sure? Should we?
I'm pretty sure.
Is your mic expensive?
Yes.
Can we jump with it?
No.
That's a good point. We shouldn't damage the equipment.
I so just want to jump. Yeah.
No, he's on his own. Thank
Okay.
you very much for watching.